Hello students, welcome back to the YouTube channel of Venus Public School. We will be continuing with revision of chapter 1st of class 8th, which is crop production and management. Yesterday we have discussed major steps which we used to take while we are producing crops. So there were 8 methods, out of which we have discussed first 2 basic methods, that is preparation of soil and selection of good quality of seed and sowing of seeds. We have discussed these 2 points where we have discussed preparation of soil included 2 methods, plowing and tilling. That means turning. Plowing, what is the meaning of plowing? Means turning or loosening of soil. Clear is plowing. And leveling is breaking off these big chunks or big pieces of soil and make the field into level. Okay, so that's leveling. We have discussed advantages of plowing or leveling. After that we have discussed seed selection and sowing. We have discussed 4 important things which we need to keep in mind while we are sowing the seeds. After that we have discussed there is a government body with the name of NSC, that is National Seed Corporation, which is involved in the production of good quality of agricultural seeds, and they used to do research and testings in the laboratories throughout the country, and they keep on searching the good quality of, keep on working to find out the good quality of seeds as per the requirement, as per the weather conditions and the availability of water at a particular area. Clear? So now today we are going to discuss, we are moving further, and while we are talking about sowing of seeds, let us talk about different methods of sowing of seeds. So there are basically 2 methods of sowing of seeds. There is one method which is manual method and which is done by the hands. Clear? Farmer used to do use this method and they used to sow the seeds with the help of their hands. Clear? And the method is called broadcasting, as broadcasting is an English word which the meaning of broadcasting is spreading all over. Clear? So they used to pick the seeds in their hands and they used to spread it over, like as in this picture you can see this farmer, one hand he is having this bucket full of seeds, and with the other hand he is throwing or broadcasting the seeds into the field, into the that plowed field. Okay, as we have turned the soil upside down, we have made proper gap between the soil, so when we throw the seeds or when we broadcast the seeds get into it, and when due to the rain and when we irrigate the field, they get germinated and crops used to grown up. But in this method there is while we are throwing the seeds, it is not the seeds which are falling on the ground is not in the same pattern or in a particular pattern. So the things which we have discussed yesterday, that we need to maintain the proper gap between the seeds, would not be maintained in this method, though it is a cheap method and a very quick method, but this method is still not very effective for good crop yield. Okay, so the other method to overcome this problem is seed drill. Clear? Seed drill, as you can see in the second picture or diagram, here there is a mechanical instrument where these teeths down there, okay, and these teeths down there, they used to plow the field, basically plow or turning the fields. Along with that plowing, turning the soil, we are filling this bucket with the seeds, and while it is doing it, plowing, while these these teeths penetrate the soil deep up to a appropriate length, it also drop the seeds over there while it is plowing it. So plowing and this plowing as well as this sowing of seeds is done at the same time. Seed drill could be manual or could be mechanical, so tractor driven. So manual seed drill, this is the picture of manual seed drill, and this is the picture which is showing the tractor driven seed drill. Clear? So here again the same thing is happening. There is a bucket in which we will fill the seeds, and when we plow the field with the tractor with the plower, along with the plowing, they are dropping the seeds at an appropriate depth, so that the proper gap and proper this overcrowding can be prevented. Clear? So these are the things, these are the methods through which we can sow the seeds. Clear? Now but there are some crops which cannot be which cannot be grown in a dry or this kind of field, okay, where we can throw the seeds or we can use seed drills. Okay, so there paddy crops. Paddy crops means rice. Paddy means rice basically. So there are some crops which used to, and many vegetables, paddy crop like rice and many vegetables like tomato, onion, brinjal seeds are sown in the area called nursery. Okay, basically they are sown in the seed small areas called nurseries. Okay, after they grown up into the small plantlets, they are called seedlings. Okay, when the small plantlets of these specific crops like rice, tomato, onion, brinjal, when they grown in the nursery, then these seedlings are taken out and like planted into a big field, okay, at an appropriate distance and depth. Clear? So this method is called transplantation. So what is transplantation? So transplantation is the method where the seedlings are transferred manually to into the big fields. It's called transplantation. Clear? And where transplantation is used, it is used with the very specific type of crops like paddy, tomato, onion, brinjal, etc. So these are done for the specific type of crops. First of all, these crops, the seeds of these crops are sown into small areas where we can look after them, okay, with a very small resource or with a very small area. We can turn the seeds into the seedlings. When these small plantlets, seedlings grown up, we pick them up and we take them to the bigger fields and we sow them. We put them over there in the big field. We transfer them to the big field at appropriate length or appropriate gap, so that they can share every resource they will be getting, they will be requiring. Okay, so this is what transplantation is. Clear? I am repeating that we have discussed in very detail during our lectures. Now the next topic, the next method or the next step which we need to follow after seed selection, seed sowing, is application of manures and fertilizers. Okay, so basically application of manures and fertilizers is very important aspect or a very important step during the crop production techniques. So why we need it? First of all, we need to understand why we need manures and fertilizers. What are manures and fertilizers? That also we need to know. Okay, so let us discuss. So crop plants are basically required nutrients. Clear? Because to get a good yield, to get a good quality of crop, to get a good quality of food grain, to get a good quality of vegetable, fruit, etc. While you are sowing, while you are growing them in a bulk, you need and while you are using the crop production as your like major source of income, so you need to make sure that the crop which you are growing must be very you will be getting a very healthy product, clear, out of it. Okay, and for the healthy product of a plant, you need to provide it appropriate amount of nutrients. And from where plants are getting nutrients? From soil. Okay, so basically while we are growing crops again and again on the same field, even after the nutrients are replenished naturally in one or another way, but the rate of this natural replenishment of these nutrients by the soil is quite slow. Okay, which would not work for again and again, which would not for consecutive or successive cultivation of that particular field. Clear? So farmers, what they used to do, they used to provide some artificial methods or some extra efforts to provide the nutrients to the soil so that we can get good yield, okay, or a very good quality of product out of these fields. Clear? So let us first discuss how naturally it do it. How naturally soil used to replenish its nutrients, and after that we will discuss the man-made method or the manures and about the manures and fertilizers. So basically manures and fertilizers are the chemicals, okay, chemicals or substances which used to which farmers used to use to replenish the nutrients into the soil. Okay, so let us first how soil do it by themselves, by itself, and then we will discuss the man-made method. Okay, artificial method. So natural method first. How we can do it? First, if we will leave the field uncultivated for one or more seasons, what we will do is, suppose we have these 4 set of fields. So what we will do, in this season we will be using these 2 fields and we will leaving these 2 fields uncultivated. Okay, and in the next season we will use these 2 fields. Okay, and we will leave these 2 fields uncultivated. So during the season when we leave these fields uncultivated, what will happen? The dead decay of previous grown crops or yield, okay, are decomposed by the microbes and get mixed, and these microbes used to release nutrients into the soil. Okay, and thus soil get replenished automatically, and the method is called field fallow. Okay, so what is field fallow? Field fallow is the method of replenishing, natural method of replenishing the nutrients by the soil. In this we leave the field uncultivated for one or more seasons. Clear? So naturally by the decomposition of dead decay of previously grown crops or weeds, the soil replenish its own nutrients. Clear? So this is very economical method, but it is only possible when you have a set of fields. You have a large amount of fields under you. You are an owner of many number of fields. Clear? So this can be done. Next is crop rotation. So crop rotation is, we can clearly see from the title, crop rotation. So what is crop rotation? What we can do, suppose we have the two set of fields. We have a set of fields, 2 fields we are having. So what we can do is, in one season we will grow a type of crop in the field where when the type of crop which requires less amount of nutrients. Okay, and in the next season what we used to do, we used to grow in the same field, we used to grow such a crop which used to replenish the nutrients, which required very like once for the first time we will grow a crop which requires high nutrients, which is having high requirement of nutrients. Okay, and in the next season we will grow a field which is having very less amount, which requires very less amount of nutrients, and along with it, it helps to replenish the nitrogen, the nutrients to the soil, like leguminous plants. Okay, so once we can grow normal plants. Okay, and then second time we will grow leguminous plants in the field. Okay, in the same field. What are leguminous plants? Leguminous plants are such kind of plants which converts the available nitrogen, okay, which is available in the atmosphere, into the nitrates or nitrogenous compounds, which get mixed with the soil and increase its nutrients level. Clear? So how they do it, how leguminous plants used to do it? Basically leguminous plants, as you can see in this picture, basically leguminous plants has the root nodules, in which these root nodules, along with the roots, they are having root nodules in it. Okay, see, these kind of bead like structures are there along with the roots. Okay, so in these leguminous plants, in these root nodules, what are there? A special kind of bacteria called rhizobium. Okay, rhizobium is present in these kind of root nodules. Clear? And what is the function of rhizobium? Rhizobium used to absorb the nitrogen present in the air, okay, and convert it into nitrates. Clear? And when these nitrates get mixed with the soil, get dissolved into the soil, it will increase the nutrient levels. Clear? So this is how crop rotation helps. So one time we will be growing normal crops, second time on the same field we will be growing leguminous plants. Clear? Crop having leguminous plants. What are the examples of leguminous plants? Leguminous plants are, the examples are pea or groundnut. Clear? Peas or groundnuts are the best example of these leguminous plants. Okay, so once wheat, then leguminous plant, then wheat, then leguminous plant. Clear? So this is how we can get different kind of crops, as well as the replenishment of this nutrients would be done automatically. Clear? And the third method is, if you have limited amount of land with you, what you can do is, you can do, so this is what crop rotation, that which we have discussed. Second part is crop rotation. Now mixed cropping. Third one is mixed cropping. As the name says, mixed cropping means non-leguminous plant and leguminous plant all together. Okay, so what we are going to do is, we are going to grow some rows of non-leguminous plants and some rows of leguminous plants. So leguminous plants used to replenish the nitrogen, and non-leguminous plant used to consume it. Clear? So the balance, or the nitrogen, the nutrient balance, the nutrient level will remain balanced. Clear? So we can grow two different kind of crops all together in a same field. Clear? And that kind of practice is called mixed cropping. Okay, so these are the three methods. That means field fallow, in which we leave the field uncultivated for 1 or 2 seasons. Crop rotation, that means we used to grow different crops in the consecutive seasons. And third one is, we are growing two different crops in a same field in a same season. Clear? All together. That is mixed cropping. So three methods which we can use to which we can use to help the soil replenish its nutrient levels automatically, naturally. Clear? However, these methods are slow and not enough for as the population is increasing, and we need high crop yields, and that too in a very quick manner. So these are slow processes. So to overcome these problems, what we use the artificial methods. So the application of manures and fertilizers helps because basically the nutrient requirements, the whatever components are required by the soil as a nutrient are available in manures and fertilizers. So what we used to do, we spread the manures and fertilizers over the field, and field can replenish it. These manures and fertilizers get mixed with the soil and increase the nutrient level, and thus increase the crop yield or crop quality. Clear? So now let us see what is the major difference between manures and fertilizers. Okay, manures are basically manures is an organic substance obtained by the decomposition of plants and animal waste. Clear? So manures is a nutrient rich substance which is naturally made, naturally. Clear? How? By decomposition of plants and animal waste. Clear? Green manure. So manure are of two types. First is green manure, where when the green plants, commonly leguminous plants, when they are plowed along with the plowing soil, what happens when we plow the field? Okay, the previously cultivated field, when we plow it, what happens? Leguminous plants, when they get picked up with the plows, okay, the dead decays of these plants get decomposed into the soil, and thus increase the soil fertility, and that's why these are called green manures. Clear? Such kind of plants. Clear? Second type of green manure is compost. Compost, it is a very common thing which you might have seen or you might have practiced, that the green waste, whatever green waste which is produced in the houses, clear, you have to dig a hole at a certain place, okay, or you have to prepare a box or something where there are two entries, in and out. Okay, so in at the top and out at the bottom, inlet out the top and out at the bottom. Okay, what you have to do is, you have to put the green waste in it, and you have to there are some worms, earthworms or some worms you can use to live over there at this green waste. Okay, what these worms or these microbes used to do, they used to decompose that green waste and convert it into manures, clear, natural manures. Okay, and then the outlet, from the outlet you can take it out, and from the inlet you can put in the green waste. It takes few days, 2-3 or 5 days or something. You keep on doing it and you keep on taking it out. Okay, and at the large scale it is done in a different way, clear. So these are the compost where plants or animal waste, plant waste or animal waste can be used as manures, and they are converted into the pits. They are converted into the manures into the pits by using bacteria present in the soil or earthworms, etc. Clear. So these are the natural fertilizers. These are natural. Manures are basically natural in nature. Clear. Fertilizers are basically man-made chemical substances which are rich in particular nutrients. The most commonly used fertilizers are NPK fertilizer. NPK fertilizer, N means nitrogen, P means phosphorus, K means potassium. Clear. So nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, these are the most important ingredients of nutrients of soil. Clear. So fertilizers are chemicals, man-made chemicals. We used to spread these chemicals over the field. Okay, and field get the required amount of NPK, nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium into the soil. Okay, but we need to make sure that the sprinkling or the fertilizers are provided to the soil in a very calculated amount, because excess of these fertilizers can damage its can damage the soil fertility also. When it gets soluble, it is soluble in water. So when when the rain comes or when we irrigate the field, what will happen? The chemicals used to get washed with the water and get reached to water bodies and harm the aquatic plants too. So excess amount of fertilizers are not at all recommended. A very calculated and limited amount of fertilizers or man-made chemicals are recommended. Clear. Whereas manures are natural substances, so we can use them in sufficient amount, but as the manures, the process of manures or the production of manures is quite slow process, so there are some limitations using them. Clear. So basically these are the things. Here we have discussed differences between fertilizers and manures. Tomorrow we will discuss irrigation methods, etc.